Yeah, this Cassidy. Shout out Mikey T, the movie star. We on Report Card Radio. Stay tuned in. You already know how he give it up, man. He been doing this thing for years. Show him the respect he deserves. Easy.
Man, Cassidy, I really appreciate you joining me today on Report Card Radio.
Nah, thanks for having me, boy.
Man, you're definitely one of the dopest MCs to ever exist in the game. When I look at artists I remember to growing up, I remember you as one of the predominant artists. So tell me, Cass, what was it that inspired you to actually get into the game?
I was born into it. My mom and my dad used to rap before I was born. So when they was having sex making me, they was writing bars. So I was born into hip hop. Always loved it. And as far back as I could remember, I just know that I was into hip hop.
Really? So, what were some of the first connections you made in the game, Cass? You were originally from Philly?
Yeah, born and raised in Philly, man. Originally from North Philly, then I moved uptown.
Who were some of the artists? Who were some of the great artists that inspired you when you first started?
A bunch of them, man. A lot of R&B artists, most of Motown, the Delphonics, Teddy Pendergrass, Marvin Gaye, Stevie Wonder, Michael Jackson, Schoolie D, Cool C, EST, a bunch of niggas inspired me, man. KRS-One, Rakim, Big Daddy King, Scarface, Melly Mel. It's like the list go on. I be naming people all day that inspire me because there's so many people that came before me and played a part. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of people that inspire me for different reasons and in different ways.
Even going up to the next generation of guys like Jay-Z and Nas.
Yeah, but they was before me too. So they was inspirations as well because they was doing their thing before I started doing my thing. So they was inspirations too.
Yeah, definitely, Cass. It's just crazy to see how these guys actually became your peers in the future.
Yeah, I mean, that's how it go though. I mean, if you put in enough work and you work hard enough, eventually those type of people that you looked up to will become your peers. You will be able to bust it up with them and, be in the presence of them, making music around them and doing things like that. So it's a blessing. It's always what I wanted to do. So I guess that's why I'm here.
Nah, real shit, Cass. That's why I say that. Because when I first caught wind of you, my friend actually showed me a video of you freestyling throughout like a whole party.
Yeah. Well, that wasn't really like a party, but it was like a gathering. It used to be a lot of niggas around back in the day. So it was like a little gathering of niggas and we was blacking out just rapping. But I used to do that every day. Back in the day, it wasn't as many camera phones or cameras around. It was harder to capture things. It wasn't social media like it is now, so everybody wasn't trying to record everything. So a lot of it wasn't captured, but I used to do that type of stuff all the time.
Yeah, that's true, man. A lot of it wasn't captured back then. So could you remember one of your early battles for me with someone maybe that everybody would know?
Nah, I don't really know. I battled a lot of people, man. So I'm not sure if people would know them or not, but I put in a lot of work, man. One of the people that I battled back in the day from Philly is Nas he was in Philly's Most Wanted at one point. And then he had signed with Timberland. And we had a little secret battle, me, him, Swiss, Timberland, a couple other people was all in there, and it was a little secret battle that we had. Nobody never got to see the video or hear about it, but that's a battle that I had. And people from Philly should know Philly's Most Wanted, you know what I'm saying? They had a lot of good records out, did it big, and he was in that group for a long period of time, and then he went solo and got a situation with Timberland. So Timberland thought he had an animal and called me to the studio, and we had a battle back in the day. History.
For real, that goes back to that Timbo and Swiss Beats versus type shit.
Yeah, like that was what initiated it. Like that energy, it was me. Like, Timberland and Swiss was there, so they doing verses now because they could remember from all the way at that point when they was in a battle bag.
Cass, what would be your ultimate versus battle? What would you like to see, or what would you like to participate in?
Um, I like to see them all, man. It's just fun to me. You know what I mean? Like I be knowing all of the songs that they be playing in the versus battles. So, it's not like with battle rap where they gonna have to write something new or bring something new to the table. Then it'd like be a better conversation. But versus battles is pretty much just entertaining, just to see and reminisce on all of the songs and the history that the artist made. So whoever do it, it'll be good for those artists' career, for people to stream their music and remember the history that they made. So it don't really matter with me with that versus stuff.
All right, so Cass, I want you to take me back, man. I want, like you said, your parents, they were both involved with music. They had you, the music child. How did your life change when you actually landed your first record deal with Full Surface?
Um, you said, how did my life change?
Yeah.
Um, you said it. I had a deal with Full Surface, so um, it was slightly different because I was signed to Rough Riders before that, and I was in a 3-man group, Larceny Family. So I was already around Swiss and familiar with him, and already around like the same people that I was around when I was with Full Surface. So it wasn't that much of an adjustment, but it was different. I was a solo artist. I was focused on my own career. I wasn't in the group no more, and I got my own artist deal with G Records. So when I was with Rough Riders, I just was signed to a production company and just making music, trying to figure out how I was gonna get a budget and get out. But when I was with Full Surface, Full Surface was my production company, but I went and got an artist deal with G Records. So I was signed to Clive Davis, which gave me budgets and radio budgets, gave me the opportunity to be able to record and put out music. So that was the difference. I was excited because I was in the studio working on music that was going to be released, opposed to just working and hoping that you could get a situation. It was a lot different.
Could you tell me about first meeting Swiss Beats?
I can't even remember the actual first time I met him, but I was signed to Rough Riders, so I met his uncles and his father first. His father was my manager that brought me to Rough Riders and to Swiss, TD the negotiator. So I knew his father first, and not too long after that, I met Swiss. I used to see him around a lot. But in the beginning, it's not like we was that cool, or we was like, how you might have seen us later on. I was new, so he was just getting familiar with me, and he had a lot of things going on. But after seeing how I carry it, how I was bodying niggas all the time, just hearing stories about how I give it up, and coming around and seeing me give it up, is what made him want to sign me, and realize that if he was going to be able to get a production company, he needed an artist. And at that point in time, I was changing the game. It's like everything that other artists was doing wasn't flying at that time. It's like bars was like the center of attention, and I was punching and going so crazy at that time that Swiss knew it only made sense to me at that time.
I want to go over your albums. First comes Split Personality, which was an album split into 3 parts, of which we ultimately got to see the 3 different parts of you: The Problem, The Hustler, and B. Reese.
Yeah. And I did that to let people know that a lot of artists normally got one style. Like most of the songs that you hear them on, they gonna rap about the same things, use the same tone of voice, same flows, and most of the time go in the same direction. But I knew that that wasn't me. I knew sometime I was gonna go hard, come with bars, battle rap style. I knew sometimes I was going school dudes and give dudes Jews and nothing but information. I knew sometimes I was going to talk to the ladies, and you know what I mean? Because I'm a ladies' man, and I know what type of nigga I was, so I knew that was going to be a part of me. I just knew everything that I go through in life I was gonna be able to rap about because I really could rap. And I know it wasn't gonna be in one direction. So that's why I called the first album Split Personality. So when I start going in all of these different directions, they'll understand. But it still was kind of hard to understand in the beginning. Like my first two singles was Hotel and Get No Better, which were songs for the females. But everybody knew me for being a DVD battle rap again, busy, all of these bars. So they was kind of confused. But that's the reason why I called the album Split Personality, to let them know that in my career, I'm going to be doing things like that, like songs like Hotel, but also I'm going to do songs like I'm a Hustler. I'm also going to do songs like Get No Better. Songs that's nothing alike. The flows is not the same. I'm not rhyming the same. The beat per minute is not the same. Nothing ain't the same, but it's still going to be the same cast. So that's the direction I was in early on.
Cass, can you tell me about working with Snoop Dogg on your debut album?
You know, Snoop a legend, man. Snoop sold all them records, did his thing. I was always a fan, so Snoop was already super platinum and super big at the time when he worked with me. So it was a pleasure to be able to work with an artist on that level at that time. You know what I mean? That was my first album, so to be able to put a dude like that on it and he respect me enough to want to jump on it. I actually went out to LA, the Snoop studio. Got a chance to go out there and vibe with him, smoke with him, chill with him. Seen him a few more times. Like he was at a few video shoots for Rough Riders, and I was there, so I got to build a relationship with a legend. So it was a beautiful look.
That's what's up, Cass. I appreciate you dipping into that a little bit more, man. I thought that was crazy when I saw Snoop, on your debut album. That was dope.
Yeah, Snoop always respect bars. I mean, even though a lot of his songs is just heavy flow, play, and style and swag and all that. You know what I mean? He definitely can get busy and spit bars, and he respect bars. So ever since he first heard me, you know what I mean, he appreciated my style and showed that by jumping on the record for me. So, you know what I mean? A lot of people don't hate. You know what I mean? A lot of people will show love and help you to get in position. So, got nothing but respect for the ball.
So, Cass, if we're breaking it down, like when you jumped into the studio with Snoop, how much weed was in the studio that day?
Oh man, there's always a lot of loud around when Snoop around and when I'm around. Anybody could tell you like, um, I'm one of the top smokers around. Like, Snoop is known for smoking, but so am I, man. I always burn it down. So when we around each other, it's crazy. Just like when I get around Redman, it's crazy. When I get around Kiss, Styles is crazy. It's like, you know what I mean? It's some smokers in the industry, and when I get around them as much as I smoke, and when they smoke a lot too, it get crazy.
So, Cass, your second album, I'm a Hustler, followed. What do you most remember about that album?
I remember being locked up when it dropped. So I wasn't able to promote it, get it off the ground like how I wanted to. I'm a Hustler was actually the first platinum ringtone. Everybody had it on their phone. The song was crazy. It was blowing up. It was super successful. But I wasn't able to tour it. I wasn't able to promote it. They had a whole promo run up set up for me that was going to be crazy, and I wasn't able to do it and go on it. I wasn't really able to reap the benefits of the song, even though it was huge at that time because I was in jail.
Yeah, Cash, you had a couple big songs right then. B-Boy Stance was major as well, so I can see what you're saying about not being able to reap the benefits. How was the whole jail experience for a guy like you, having a million sales on a ringtone, but you have to be in jail?
Yeah, that was hard to deal with, man. And you even know, like, all of the things that's going on nowadays, dudes might not even have to have a platinum ringtone, gold plaques, and traveling the world and all of the girls that they want and just living their life. They don't gotta have all of that, and they can still tell on people and fold and do things that they're not supposed to. So for me to be in that position, um, living my dream out at the time, in the position that I'm supposed to be in, and then all of that get taken away. You know what I mean? For a mistake that I wasn't even responsible for making. it was definitely hard to deal with, but you know, sometimes those type of things come with life, man.
So, Cass, on a more positive note, you eventually had the chance to work with Nas. How was that?
Oh, that was a good look, man. Nas is always one of my favorites, man. Nas one of the GOATs. So to be in the studio, busted up with Nas, we actually was writing together, smoking together, vibing out, talking. Um, it was a beautiful look, man. Like, you know what I mean? I got nothing but respect for Nas. Um, Even Queens, like my wife is from Queens. I used to live in Queens, Astoria, at studio in Long Island City. So, you know, I got nothing but respect for Nas, and you already know how much weight he holds as far as hip hop in the industry goes. So to be able to work with him, be in the studio with him, vibing out, like you said, him treating me like I'm his peer, but he put in so much work already, and I'm just getting started. So it felt good.
What type of game or inspiration did a guy like Nas offer you?
Sometimes, the sun, the actual sun, doesn't have to give you inspiration. It could just shine, and you able to tan from it, get energy from it. Is able to give the world all of the energy that it got for us to run, for us to be doing this interview right now, for me to have the lights in the room. It all come from the sun. So the sun don't really got to talk or teach. All it got to do is just rise and shine. So just me being around Nas with all the work he put in and all of the songs and the lyrics that I know from Nas was enough. He didn't really have to school me or teach me anything because I was already going in the right direction, and he pretty much seen that. But just being around them was confirmation that I was going in the right direction for myself. For me to be able to, you know, be on the phone with you right now, talking after so much time passed since that session that I was in the studio with Nas. You know what I mean? That was the motivation I needed to keep going forward.
You know, Cass, another note I have from the I'm a Hustler album is actually the Jay-Z sample on the song I'm a Hustler. Did the two of you ever have a conversation about that?
Um, Actually, me and Swiss was in the studio working, and he had some Jay-Z acapellas, and we put that song together. And it actually was a mixtape song, like just a freestyle. The actual verses were super long, but Rampage was DJing in Philly, and he started spinning it in the clubs. So when I came back to Philly and I went to the club, everybody was going crazy to the song. Even Iverson and all of them was singing it to him. I'm a hustler, and they was going crazy to it. And I'm like, damn, like I ain't even know this shit was lit like that. But the verses was so long, it took so long to get back to the hook that I'm like, damn, I gotta make this into a real song. So I went back to New York, talked to Swiss, told him like, yo, this shit popping in Philly, man. This shit going crazy. You gotta make this into a real song. And I explained it to him. He was with it. So then I put it together and I made it into a real song, like with the verses that you hear on the video and all of that. But shorten the verses, make the hook come back to make it a real song. And then we put it out a little bit later. But I was on J Records, which is a top 40 like pop type of record label. And in that song, even in the chorus is like nigga acts about me, nigga acts about me. That's already like 6, 7, 8 niggas already. And it's just like talking about hustling and a lot of street shit. So they ain't think it was commercial enough to push. It definitely wasn't like the normal top 40 record that you hear about. But I just believed in it and I knew it would win. So when they put it out, they just put it out to the make sure DJs ain't really believe in the record like it was a hotel or Get No Better or one of them type of records. But when soon as the mix show DJs got it, they just went so crazy with it. And it started getting so many plays and such a crazy response that they had to put some money behind it, get the video shot, and, you know, go with the record because they seen what it was.
Cass, was there ever a chance for you to do business with Jay-Z?
Uh,
Roc-A-Fella Records, potentially?
well, that was a form of business right there because I had to clear the song because we actually sold the song. So for his vocals to be on the song, I had to clear it. So that was a form of business right there.
But Cass, more importantly, was there ever talks of putting a rock chain on you?
Oh, nah, not with me. Not with me, nah. Because before Jay-Z ever even heard about me and knew anything about me, I was already signed to Rough Riders. So it was like already impossible. I know it was a lot of people that's in the industry that always talked about they wanted to sign me and they wanted to because I was an animal, but I was already down, so they couldn't violate and be like, yo, I was already connected and I was super loyal. You see, even to this day, even though I got my own production company and I'm doing my own thing, I'm still loyal to Switch, my full service team. I'm still connected to Rough Riders. They're still my family. I just was on the phone with D the day before yesterday. So um, I'm a loyal dude, so it wasn't gonna be able to pull me away from my clique anyway. So because I got signed at 17 years old and I came around so young, before people even knew about me or was able to get access to me, that's the reason why I don't even know if it was any talks about me having a rock chain on or any type of different chain. You know what I'm saying? Could have been talks with the higher ups or whatever, but not with me.
So speaking of all that, Cass, 50 also sampled I'm a Hustler on his single off Curtis. Did you ever get a call about that?
Um, nah, but everybody that know music can hear the similarity. Know it's the same drums, the same drum pattern. But nah, I ain't get a call for that from that.
So same with Jay-Z. I want to ask about 50. Was there ever a chance for you two to do any future business?
Um, you never know, man. The last time I seen 50 was when I was up at This Is 50, doing a interview with DJ Thorough, and I seen 50 and we got a chance to talk and busted up. So, you know what I mean? Everything is cool. We on good terms. There's no problems or nothing like that. And 50 got a lot going on. A lot of things that he got his hands into. So I'm pretty sure that we could figure out a way to do business, but I'm not sure if it'll happen or not. But I'm with it. You know, I'm always trying to get to the chicken, and if the business makes sense, then let's get it.
Why, Cass, have you jumped in any acting roles yet?
Yeah, for sure. I've been in a few movies, not big budget movies. I guess the biggest budget movie I was in was Next Day Air. That was with Mos Def, Mike Epps. Um, a lot of people was in that movie. A lot of big names was in that movie. So um, that was the biggest movie I was in, I guess. But I'm looking forward to doing more acting soon. I got a lot of compliments off the acting that I already did. People already say I'm good at it, and because I'm so used to remembering lyrics and I could freestyle and do things like that, it's easy for me to remember a script and ad lib or change it up or reword it and make it cooler. Like it's easy for me to do that, and that be useful on set. So I got a lot of compliments, and I'm looking forward to doing a lot more acting soon. I actually just wrote my first movie. Um, I knew that I was a good writer, and I always was writing my whole life, but I never just thought about writing a movie until recently. And once I started writing it, it was coming together so crazy, like how my bars is. So it's a different form of writing than y'all ever seen, but it's gonna be real dope, and I can't wait to start shooting. Hopefully, I start shooting before the year is out or the beginning of next year.
Wow, that's dope, Cass. That's what a lot of people have always said about you, that you're one of the most tremendous writers. What made you go back to Rough Riders for the third album, or had you never left?
Um, Now my third album wasn't on Rough Riders. It was still on. I was still on Full Surface and J Records. It was still the same deal that I had for I'm a Hustler and Split Personality.
We're talking about the Bars album.
Yeah, when I dropped the Bars album, it was the same deal, same distribution, same production company. So I wasn't back with Rough Riders, but that was always my family, man. Like that never stopped. So even though um I signed a different production deal, And I got an artist deal with G Records. That's still my family. Like, and I mean, so communications was still up. Like, I was still connected to them aside of music. Like, it's deeper than music with me and Rough Riders because that's where I was raised. So I was always connected. So I might have shouted them out or did things to make you think that I was still with them because I never left them. But as far as the production company that I was on, I was still on Full Surface and I was still signed to G Records.
Yep. Yeah, you always kept a steady relationship with Jadakiss and Styles P.
For sure. Jadakiss was on my first album. So was Styles. Um, Styles actually introduced me on Ride or Die Volume 3 to the world when I was blacking out on one of those songs. Um, Styles was talking on there and let the world know about me. So Styles always showed me love from early on. And even even after I went independent and started grinding from the muscle, me and Styles did a lot of records. Anytime I asked Styles for a verse, he always came through. So I got nothing but love for Styles. That's my homie.
How did you end up getting with Kanye West for production on bars?
Um, Kanye West always was cool. You even see in the Get No Better video, Kanye was there with me and Swiss. So Kanye always respected bars and always respected me as a spitter. One time I went on Rap City in the basement. He called me up there to do that. It was his episode, and he called me up, and we went in the booth, and I was spitting. So he always respected my bars and had love for me, and vice versa. I always had love for him and respected his music. I remember he shot 3 videos for Jesus Walks. I seen him in a hotel lobby, and he pulled the laptop out, and he was like, "Yo, Cass, I just shot 3 different videos, but I don't know which one to go with. I want you to watch them all and then tell me which one you think I should go with." You know what I'm saying? So I got to watch all 3 videos before the world seen it and got to give them my opinion. And actually my opinion, I'm not saying he used my opinion. I'm sure he already had that in mind anyway. But I definitely chose the video that he went with, so that was a good look, Kanye.
Man, Cass, I appreciate that. What was it that made you want to get back into battle rap?
I never left. It's just that I knew how valuable battle rap was, how much attention was going to be on battle rap because it's the competitive part of hip hop, and everybody love competition. That's why sports so big, boxing, UFC, everything's so big when people being competitive. So I knew battle rap was going to grow, and I knew I played a big enough part for it to grow. So I told dudes I wasn't going to come back until they gave me a certain number, $250,000. So hip hop had to grow. Once they got a big enough check, I came back. But it's not like I quit or stopped doing it. It's just that I was just waiting for that check. If they would have came with the check the next day after I said it, then I would have battled the next day. I was just waiting for them to come with the right situation for me. Because it ain't make sense for me to battle no more because I was in the industry making music and putting out music and already respected for putting battle rap on the map on a whole nother level. So it ain't make no sense for me to battle rap at that point unless I was getting a certain type of bag.
I hear you, Cass. And does that date back to the days like after you had just blown up having records on the charts and you're getting challenged to do battles with people like, people out there online challenging you for battles like Murder Mook? Is that what it was? Why you wouldn't battle? Because they didn't have the bag?
Of course. Yeah, my battle rap career was from like 95 to 2001. After that, it was over. And I told people I wasn't coming back until I got $250,000. So when Mook was doing that and saying like he wanted to battle and all that, a lot of that was like Mook knew I was the man at the time. So a lot of that like was made up and he was just trying to like lure me in because he knew that would have been a big situation at the time, win, lose, or draw. And that's the reason why he was doing a lot of those things. But Mook knew I wasn't coming back for that amount of money that he was talking about offering me. I just wasn't battling nobody unless it was, you know what I'm saying, unless it was a big bag involved. So, or unless you had a big enough resume. Like if you had a big enough fan base and you was in the industry and you was putting out hits and doing other things too, then it was no problem. Like, we could battle at any time. And I was still always ready to battle on beat. It's like, as far as I was making music at the time and I was in the studio. So I was always giving it up on beat and always letting everybody know that I'm always ready so anybody could get it on beat. Anytime anybody got out of line, anytime during my career, they always got the business on beat. So I never stopped battling for real. It's just that to do this new form of battle rap that they do, which is not really the form of battle rap that I used to do. In order for me to come back and do that, I got to get paid.
Just keeping it real, I go out and I interview people about your return to battle rap. Why? Because I put you at the top of the chain when it comes to battle rap. I put you as nearly one of the kings of battle rap because of the way that I grew up in the game. So I wanted to ask you, Cass, what do you think about Sue Surf facing off with Loaded Lux?
I just think that's like, it's like two different styles, two different directions. I think they trying to accomplish two different things. So, I don't know if I'm that interested in that battle. I'm not too sure if I like that battle too much. But they two big names. They both got, like, fan base. And I guess for the battle rap crowd and stuff, it'll be good. But I'm just saying, like, with the styles they got and the way they rap, and I don't know. I guess it's just whoever show up. I think somebody asked me that question before, and I said, just off top right now, just from what I know, I got Lux winning. You know what I'm saying? Like, being more prepared, having 3 rounds, and doing what he need to do to win. I think Lux will win. You know what I'm saying? That's just how I feel.
And I think, judging by the battles that Sue Surf has had, I think getting the opportunity against Lux really gives him the chance to cement himself.
Not necessarily, because like, nowadays with the way they battle, there's no real stats or no real scorecards or no real, like, statistics or, like, wins or losses. They're not really keeping track. So whether you win, lose nowadays, it don't really matter no more anyway. Like, so, and it's all opinionated. So, you would have to just really just overwhelmingly just kill somebody and make them quit or give up for people to just feel like you won. Because it's like, with it, like a Surf and a Lux, those type of artists, if they both say the raps that they got and they both don't, like, none of them choke, and they both say 3-4 rounds, there's gonna be some people that feel like Surf won and some people feel like Lux won. It's gonna always be that way. So there's no way to tell who won anyway, really, because people not really judging it by the science. They only judging it by opinion anyway. Really break down who pieced up the most syllables, who used the most figurative language, how often they used it, if that figurative language was ever touched on before, how long they was rhyming, who had the most bars, who was the most prepared, who was the most confident, and who was saying the realest shit, like the shit that really applied to their life and not no fairy tale made up shit. But people not going to go over that to score the battle. They just going to go by their opinion. So it don't really matter anyway.
Well, Cass, I don't know if I'm the one to actually judge it, but I think we're a few years away from that.
Yeah, hopefully we eventually get there. But people just going to have to understand the science better. And that's why I'm back to teach it, because there's not a lot of dudes that know the science to be able to teach it. So that's why I'm back saying bars is back and letting people know the science so that they can incorporate it into what they do, so that we can be better. People can understand the science better and then rate the music that they getting better, so that they'll require better music and then we'll get better music.
So, Cass, unless you can't talk about this, it's obvious on the net that you and Sue Surf have thrown a few jabs at each other. Is that a rap battle that you would entertain?
I entertain any rap battle. When somebody come to me with the amount of money I'm looking for, I tell them to pick who they want me to battle. So it don't matter. Like, I don't got nothing against no battle rapper, or, like, I'm not a fan of a battle rapper and just want to battle them like that. Like, it don't matter. Like, anybody could get it. Like, Surf could get it, whoever they pick. Like the next person that give me the bag that I'm looking for, if they pick Surf, he could get it. But that's not a person like I'm interested in. Like I never even be thinking about Surf. Like that's not, it's not even on my mind. Like
Could you tell me about your relationship with ARAB and how it began?
um, I met him through a friend. We got a mutual friend. Uh, we got a mutual friend.
Shout out the homie Flock.
Yeah, pretty flat. So me and Pretty Flock met because my older brother was cool with his uncle. They like older than us. So they was cool and they brought us around each other. When they first brought us around each other, they was always saying that Flock was tough. So we started fighting, like wrestling and stuff like that. And he seen I was tough, so then we got cool. But this one we was kids though. You know what I mean? But as I started to grow and I got into rap, he was rapping too, and he would always tell me about AR and these dudes from down his way where he was from that rap. He would always talk about them. So one day I just went down there to hear them rap, and that's how I got to know them. You know what I mean? Through him.
So to you, Cass, was ARAB a major part of the Larceny family?
Um, yeah, I mean, Larceny family existed before AR Ab came around. But once he came around and he started putting in work, we included him and we connected him to Larceny family because that's the movement that I was representing at the time, and he was rocking out with us. So that's how he became Larceny family. And once he became Larceny family, he definitely was playing his part. And I mean, getting a lot of attention, and a lot of people was listening and open to what he was doing. So he definitely played a part after he became Larceny family, for sure.
So, Cass, I guess the question I should have asked is, after you met Ab, what was it about him that made you say, hey, I want to take this guy around with me and have him spitting on all the come-up shows? Because you had Ab circulating his voice everywhere.
Yeah, Ab ain't really want to rap too tough. Like, he knew he could rap, but he wasn't really, like, dedicated, locked in. Like, my work ethic is incredible. Like, so like what people think is working hard is not even like really work to me. So when I was like encouraging him to really go in. You gotta really rap. You gotta really have your click for. So, in the beginning, I knew he had potential, but I knew he had to get on his job. So if you hear AR Ab like before he got down with me, and then like after he got down with me, it was like a tremendous change because he was able to learn a lot. Not just about what to talk about and what to rap about. He already had that from doing what he was doing. But just knowing how to piece it up the proper way and learning the science and what was required as far as that go, I was able to teach that, what made it a lot better for him.
On a positive on a positive note, Cassidy, what is a memory of ARAB that you can't forget?
Um, uh, the fact that when I got locked up, man, what I was telling you about earlier, and they was trying to take my life away, give me life or the death penalty, is like all of that situation was with AR. He was with me, so you know what I mean. That's one of them things that I'm never gonna forget. Like that situation that happened that put me in jail. What I went through, that whole situation, I'm not gonna forget that.